Hello and welcome to Global Eye. I'm Parikshit Luthra. The top story we're tracking this evening: China has tightened its export rules over rare earth minerals in a move that could significantly impact global supply chains for electric vehicles. Industry sources have told CNBC-TV18 that the export restrictions will be applicable on a range of critical minerals, including lithium batteries, cathodes, graphite anodes. These curbs will be applicable to all nations. The Chinese government has also imposed restrictions on the export of certain electric vehicle technologies, tightening its grip over the global clean energy ecosystem. Beijing has also added at least 5 new categories of rare earth magnets to its export control list. The new controls are expected to kick in from the 8th of November and are likely to be in response to US's curbs on US chip exports to China. These curbs also come ahead of a potential meeting between President Xi and President Trump. The Indian auto industry has informed the government about the new export curbs, and they may approach them formally for further assistance in the coming days. We also learned that all automakers are evaluating these new export controls that China has imposed. While some have said there is no immediate impact, others do believe this is going to be a negative for the Indian auto industry, which is focusing on localization of cells and batteries in a big way. So what are we going to see in the next few weeks in terms of the impact on production, on sales? We're joined by Einar, Tangen, Senior Fellow at the Tangen Institute and the Chairman of the Asia Narratives at Substack. We also have with us Suhail Nathani, Managing Partner at Economic Law Practice. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Einar, Tangen, could you give us a sense of why China has now gone ahead and taken this decision to impose extra export curbs on more rare earths and rare earth processing equipment, manufacturing equipment, material used in lithium-ion batteries? Why would China do that?
Well, they're reacting to what Donald Trump is doing, who has been imposing more curbs, urging other countries to stop trading with China or to put large, export duties on them. As you remember, he went to Europe and said that he wanted 100% tariffs by the Europeans on both India and China. They're coming up to a meeting. Obviously, both sides are trying to show strong hands. Obviously, when you're dealing with Donald Trump, very mercurial, you have to take a very firm stance. Otherwise, he thinks he's more clever than you are and that he's somehow going to get over you. I think India has experienced this and nothing has changed. So right now, I would say this is tactical. But at some point, if there isn't some light at the end of these negotiations, it could turn into a reality.
Right. Suhail, if I were to try and understand from you, will these export controls impact lithium-ion batteries, their assembly in India, cell localization? And what about getting full assemblies? We had been seeing how Indian companies were trying to get around these export curbs on rare earth by getting full motors or full parts rather than getting the rare earth magnet itself. Will that also be impacted as a result of the new rules which kick in on the 8th of November?
So, I'd like to answer the question in 2 parts. Will it affect EVs? Yes, because you need these rare earth magnets to make batteries and motors. So it will affect local manufacturing, surely. And more importantly, even if you are able to import these materials in from China, there are going to be several restrictions on how you can use them and where you can re-export them. So on both counts, yes.
Suhail, would you say that China is now asking for more guarantees from India that these rare earths or equipment which goes into lithium-ion batteries, for that matter, is not going to be used for any kind of defense technology?
Yes, that is one of the requirements of the new China export control laws. And let's just understand what's going on. This is really a new, instead of warfare, a lawfare that we're seeing. As we heard earlier, the US has been using this tool very effectively, and now China is beginning to use this tool increasingly. And what differs in China using this tool is that they control depending on how you look at it, 70 to 90% of these raw materials, which are critical for both EVs, for defense, and for a host of other products. So being almost a monopoly supplier, they're able to dictate the rules a lot more effectively.
Right. That's an important point, Suhail. Let me go back to Einar Tangen once again. Einar, would you be able to tell us that earlier, of course, in April, we had seen China restricting the export of rare earth magnets, making them subject to very stringent licenses. India has not got any licenses for rare earth magnets since April, even though we say there is a bit of a thaw, some sort of relief, some sort of reset in ties. Having said that, does China now want to make sure that if US continues these import curbs, these export curbs on chips, then China would put restrictions on the entire electric vehicle supply chain?
Yes, I mean the concern in Beijing is that things that are being shipped to one country will end up in a third country, particularly the U.S. I don't think anybody has any kind of illusions that the U.S. wouldn't do whatever is necessary to get what they thought they can. You know, currently India imports nearly all of its rare earth permanent magnets, about 4,000 tons annually. And that's projected to double by 2030. And China's a large part of it. What my colleague was talking about is China actually mines only 70% of all the rare earth, but it processes 90%. They're about 10 to 15 years ahead of anybody else in terms of the processing part. So that's the crucial thing that people should be paying attention to. It's fine to say, as India said, that they're going to develop their own technology and processing, but it's going to take quite a bit of time in order to do that. It's a messy, difficult business. And it'll, as I said, there's going to be a lag time if it goes into effect. Hopefully, this is just, as I said, tactical, kind of getting ready to confront the Trump.
Right. This is to confront Donald Trump. Let me go back to Suhail Nathani at this point. Suhail, what impact do you expect on the Indian EV industry, and what are some of the legal issues that importers are facing right now? We believe that there is no consignment of high rare earth magnets that are coming in. Do other categories of rare earth also get impacted?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question. The voice cut off a bit. Can you repeat it?
Right. Suhail, what I'm trying to understand is that we were anyway not getting high rare earth magnets from China. Do these new laws, new regulations from China indicate that it'll get even tougher to get electric vehicle batteries, cathodes, anodes, rare earth processing equipment into India? Are there more categories of rare earth which have been included?
Clearly, there have been 14 new categories, as I understand, that have been added to the April list. There are other restrictions as well in terms of technologies. And of course, this is designed to make it more difficult. But as Einar said, that is this just posturing, or is this the new normal where China is going to keep a chokehold on these kind of technologies? Only time will tell.
All right. Thank you very much, Suhail Nathani. So let's hope there is some breakthrough between Donald Trump and Xi Jinping as well. Thank you very much, Einar Tangen, for being with us as well. That's all we have time for in this segment. But we're taking a short break. On the other side, India and Afghanistan have pledged to fight terrorism together as Afghanistan's foreign minister visits New Delhi for the first time. The Indian government says it would reopen its embassy in Kabul. A special discussion with Tilak Devashar, former member of the National Security Advisory Board and a senior member of the Cabinet Secretariat, when we return.